Wild animals have always fascinated people, whether for their strength, agility, or beauty. But getting close can be dangerous. They are unpredictable and can attack without warning. From cows that trampled people to sharks that almost dragged swimmers to the bottom of the sea, no one is totally safe. These accidents happen quickly, unexpectedly, and often without time to react. These are the attacks you will see today. An adventure tour turned into a real scare for a tourist visiting a safari in South Africa. The man, excited about the chance to see a lion up close, went too far and ignored the guide's instructions, getting closer to the animal than allowed. In a few seconds, the beast ran toward the man, who tried to flee in despair. People started shouting and calling for help as the lion reached him and knocked him to the ground. Panic took over everyone nearby. Luckily, the tourist survived, but he got scratches and a huge fright he will probably never forget. According to those responsible for the safari, the case serves as a warning. Keeping your distance and following safety rules is not being fussy. It is what separates a good memory from a tragedy. After all, a lion is beautiful, but it is better to admire it from afar. Everything seemed like a quiet morning until a resident came across a deer right in front of her house. The animal, huge and with sharp antlers, stared straight at her. The woman froze, not knowing whether to run or pretend to be a tree. The confusion began when her dog, small and brave, decided to confront the visitor. The deer did not like the provocation at all and charged. In despair, the owner tried to protect the little animal by hitting the deer with her purse, but she ended up being pushed. The scene got worse when a man showed up to help and tried to hold the deer by the antlers. The problem was that the animal was way too strong and kept advancing. After a lot of screaming and running, the deer finally calmed down and stood still, as if nothing had happened. The woman had minor injuries and the dog was unharmed, but the scare was big. A ride that should have been peaceful turned into tragedy at the Beijing Bottling Wildlife Zoo in Beijing, China. The place is famous for allowing visitors to drive among the animals, but there is a basic rule: no one may get out of the vehicle. Even so, two women ignored the warning and paid dearly for it. During the drive, an argument inside the car made one of the visitors get out. In a few seconds, a tiger appeared and attacked her. Desperate, her friend tried to help and also got out of the car. The worst part is that another tiger appeared and fatally attacked her, dragging the woman away. A man and a child who were with them managed to remain safe and called for help. The park teams acted quickly, but they could not prevent the tragedy. The zoo was temporarily closed and reinforced its safety rules. According to staff, it would have been enough to follow the main warning: stay inside the car, for everything to end well. In the end, the outing that was supposed to be fun turned into a hard lesson about respecting nature. A cyclist got the scare of his life while pedaling along a quiet street. Out of nowhere, two black dogs appeared running and went straight at him. The man tried to get away, but the animals were furious and started advancing. It looked like the worst was about to happen until a true four-legged hero appeared. A mixed-breed caramel dog showed up out of nowhere and charged at the two intruders without thinking twice. The defending dog managed to push the attackers away and saved the cyclist, who took the chance to protect himself. The man also fired something like a blank round, which made the violent dogs run off. A woman visiting a park thought it would be a good idea to get close to a baboon and give it a little pet. The problem is that the monkey was not in a good mood at all. As soon as she reached out her hand, the animal reacted with a quick swipe and scratched her face. The scare was so big that the woman backed away immediately. She had minor injuries but ended up with a scratched face and a bruised ego. According to staff at the site, the baboon had already shown violent behavior before, and that is why there were signs warning people not to try to touch it. As cute as they may seem, wild animals are not pets. Each one has its space and its instinct, and it is better to respect that. The worst part is that many people still insist on getting close, thinking nothing will happen. The outing that was supposed to be calm turned into a big lesson about keeping your distance and leaving nature alone. In the middle of the jungle, a man got the biggest scare of his life while trying to film a jaguar. The guy was there, calmly recording the animal among the leaves, thinking he was at a safe distance. But a single wrong step was enough for the beast to lunge. The jaguar leapt out of the vegetation in one bound, ready to attack. The man tried to run but tripped and fell, and that was when the real despair hit. Luckily, another local who was nearby appeared with a stick and managed to scare the animal off, and it fled back into the forest. After the scare, the guy said he only wanted to record the moment, not imagining the jaguar was about to attack. The video went viral, of course, and many people commented that he was born again. Environmental authorities reminded everyone that these animals only attack when they feel threatened. In other words, when you are in jaguar territory, the best thing is to respect its space and put the camera away. An ordinary day turned into complete chaos at the Palar Nagar complex in India. Construction workers arrived early for another day on the job, but found something no one expected: a loose leopard walking between the buildings. The animal, startled and irritated, charged at anyone in its path. 3 residents were injured while trying to escape. Some locked themselves at home, others climbed onto rooftops, and there were even those who grabbed sticks to try to scare the animal away, an idea that, of course, did not work very well. Authorities arrived quickly, but the leopard put up a fight. It took 4 attempts with tranquilizer darts before the feline finally passed out. After almost 2 hours of tension, it was placed in a cage and safely taken to a zoo. Experts explained that as construction expands into forested areas, encounters like this are becoming more and more common, and the worst part is that in this kind of clash, nobody wins, neither humans nor the animal. In a frozen region of the Arctic, a man went through a serious scare. He was outside a shelter when 2 polar bears appeared out of nowhere, advancing as if it were lunchtime. With not much else to do, the guy grabbed the first stick he could find and started waving it in the air, trying to drive off the huge animals. The bears still made a few charges, but the man did not back down. He threw sticks, shouted, and did everything he could not to become lunch. After a few minutes of tension, the animals decided to leave, leaving the ground covered in footprints and the man shaking more from nerves than from cold. People who saw the video said he was very lucky because a polar bear attack hardly ends well. During a show at SeaWorld in San Diego, United States, trainer Ken Peters lived through a true aquatic nightmare. While performing with the orca Kasatka, what was supposed to be a smooth spectacle turned into nearly 10 minutes of ordeal. The whale, which weighed more than 2 tons, grabbed the trainer's foot and pulled him to the bottom of the tank. Ken tried to stay calm, but the situation got more and more tense. He tried to surface to breathe, patted the orca's back, and was pulled back down by the leg. It seemed endless. The audience watched without understanding what was happening, while other trainers ran to try to help, throwing nets into the water. After a lot of struggle, Ken managed to break free with an injured foot and a torn ligament. It was quite a scare. Many people began to question whether it is worth putting humans and giant animals in tight tanks just for entertainment. And honestly, after seeing what happened, it is easy to understand the fear. Some fishermen were enjoying a calm day on the boat, thinking their biggest worry would be the strong sun. But what showed up on the line made everyone freeze. They pulled the hook, thinking it was just another ordinary fish, until a huge swordfish burst out of the water and charged at one of them. The animal came in full force, its sharp bill pointed straight at the man's chest. The scare was so big he almost fell backward into the boat. The attack was quick but intense. The fish thrashed, but luckily, it fell back into the water before causing something worse. Those who saw it up close said the man turned white as flour, while the swordfish fought with all its might not to become someone's dinner. A man was riding his bike peacefully down the street when something totally unexpected happened. A pigeon decided to attack. The bird first hopped onto the bicycle wheel and in a quick leap went straight at the cyclist. Startled, the man almost lost his balance but reacted in time and pushed the pigeon to the ground. The bird seemed angry, flapping its wings and trying to attack again, but it gave up and flew away. Many people said this kind of attack is more common than you might think, especially when the animal feels threatened or is looking for food. The man continued on his way, still tense but relieved to have escaped without injuries. Sergei Prichanik, a 48-year-old tamer, was doing his act at a circus in Biysk, Russia. Everything seemed calm. Donut the bear, weighing 164 kilos, was gliding on a hoverboard, earning applause from children and adults. But suddenly, the animal decided the show was going to be more exciting than expected. Donut jumped on Sergei, who ended up falling to the ground. The tamer tried to defend himself, but the bear stayed on top of him for a few seconds, giving everyone a hard time. It was tough because it seemed like the animal wanted to play in a violent way. To calm Donut, Sergey offered a piece of wood for the animal to bite. Meanwhile, a circus worker approached and poked the bear with another piece of wood through the bars. The strategy worked. Donut let go of Sergey and went back to playing with the wood, leaving the tamer unharmed. Many people said they felt tense watching the situation, but no one was actually injured. The incident shows that wild animals, even when trained, can surprise at any moment. Sergey laughed after it happened, and Donut continued the show as if nothing had happened. Anshul Beniwal was leaving home on his bike to take a ride through the park in Rewari, India, when a huge, little problem showed up out of nowhere. A street cow decided he would be the target. The animal started chasing the young man through the streets of Sector 4. Anshul tried to escape, but the cow was fast and did not let up. Along the way, he fell into a vacant lot, and the cow did not waste time. It trampled the guy for almost a minute. Anshul's screams caught the neighbors' attention, and they ran to try to help him. But the animal would not stop and even ran after the people. It was difficult, but after a lot of effort, they managed to drive the cow away and save the young man. Anshul was taken to a private hospital, received care, and went back home in good condition. Even so, the scare remained. Many people said the fear of running into a cow on the streets of Rewari has become very real, since these animals keep wandering around and causing problems. Mick Fanning was enjoying a surf session when something went very wrong. He was paddling calmly, getting ready to catch the next wave, when he felt someone or something behind him. Before he could react, he was pulled under the water. The surfer tried to break free, but his foot was still tied to the board by the leg rope. As he struggled, he realized what had caused the chaos. A shark appeared, slapping the water and creating real trouble. Fanning tried to defend himself, threw a few punches, but the animal seemed determined to keep the mess going. The worst part was that he was still attached to the board, being dragged, not knowing if he would be able to get away. It was tough, but luck was on the surfer's side. The leg rope ended up snapping, and he managed to swim to the surface, shouting and breathing with relief. Mick Fanning got out of the water exhausted and decided that after going through something like that, no competition is worth the adrenaline he had just felt. Many people said they would never imagine a surf session could turn into a survival test against a shark. A peaceful walk turned into a real problem for a woman who was out with a cheetah from the Mahalo Wildlife Rehabilitation Center in South Africa. The beast, wearing a collar, suddenly grabbed the woman's legs with its paws, almost pulling her pants down. The woman tried to break free, but the animal's strength was surprising. Some men tried to help and calm the beast, but nothing seemed to work. The cheetah held on tight, showing it was in total rage. The situation left everyone tense. Even scared, the woman kept trying to control the animal. After a few minutes of effort and courage, she managed to calm the cheetah. The animal sat and finally relaxed. A peaceful walk turned into a real ordeal for a woman strolling down the street. Without warning, two geese started running toward her. Frightened, she ran until she managed to shelter in a nearby house and get away. Geese may seem harmless, but these animals show a violent side when they feel threatened or need to protect their territory. They run fast, peck hard, and can make anyone run. A woman was swimming calmly in the sea, enjoying the crystal clear water a few miles from Key West, United States, while her husband filmed from the boat. Everything seemed normal until a shark appeared very close to her feet. Her husband realized the danger and told her to get back to the boat quickly. She got scared but reacted immediately, swimming as fast as she could.
Holy crap, can you imagine?
Look at that. Yeah, they're like circling.
The animal kept circling, making each stroke feel like a race for survival. As she approached the boat, her heart pounded, but luck was on her side. She managed to escape the predator. Many people said it is hard to imagine the fear someone feels when they realize they are just a few meters from a shark. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch more videos like this.